So I am making for the first time gel wax ice cubes and gonna make an iced coffee latte. So I'm getting my clear container out now and just gonna wipe it down a little bit. They usually come kind of dusty and I just want to make it clean. And I usually just do that with a little alcohol and wipe it down. So this particular vessel, I'm not sure where I bought it from. I have a lot of these clear vessels, but I use a CDN wick, and you'll see me in just a second go ahead and grab my sticker, and I think I'm using number 10 CDN. So I'm just going to place that in the center. Usually these aren't too hard. I do have a centering tool, but I'm not using it here because this is just sort of a practice one, although I get it centered pretty well. So you're going to come along with me as I am doing a trial and error for the first time, some gel wax here, and you can use trays. You can melt this gel wax and actually use ice trays and get the ice perfectly square, but I just wanted to skip a step because it is a lot of work. So I am just going to grab it is kind of comes all clumped a little bit, so I wasn't sure exactly how to deal with it, so I just kind of grabbed some, and I've already wiped down my counter and everything so it's free of dust or dirt or anything like that, and I just kind of grab it, and you're going to see me in a second. I start to cut it and go, wow, this is a little harder than I thought to cut. So I'm wondering what to do here, to be honest. It is just kind of weird. And I may end up in the future melting this down and putting it in cubes, but as you see, I do figure out how to cut it. So it just looks kind of messy here, which it is kind of messy, but I'm going to cut just a big old chunk out, and I do cut up more cubes than I need, but you'll just see here in a second. I do like to clear my space, so I'm keep moving things to the side, but as you see, I'm like, what in the heck do I do with this? So I'm just going to cut it into long strips, and then hi Scout, and then I'll cut it into cubes so you can watch me. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but I'm not exactly sure how to. It's kind of sticky and it doesn't cut clean through, so I kind of had to pull it off there. And some people use scissors and snip it into cubes, but I found this knife worked well. I just kind of cut through, and instead of kind of sawing through it, I just pulled off the pieces as needed. So right here, I'm putting it into my little pitcher. In a minute, you'll see what I'm going to do next, because I have calculated how much total wax my tumbler, my clear tumbler is. And so what I'm going to do, and you'll see me in just a second, I'm going to put the cubes in the tumbler and then I'm going to weigh it. This is probably kind of boring, but for those that want a little tutorial of how to do this, I hope this is helpful. So as you see, I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to figure it out right now that I need to put the cubes in the tumbler and then weigh it. Watch. So I'm like, nope. Nope. I've got to put it. I've got to determine how many cubes I need and then weigh it. So I did want them to stick out because I've seen them stick out, and you'll see at the end of this tutorial that I have them above the vessel. I think it looked better because it looks like ice cubes. So now I'm going to weigh it. This actually did not work out well, and you'll see in just a second. I'm doing a total weight of I think I had 444 grams, so I'm measuring a certain amount of my gel wax, and then I'm going to measure a certain amount of my apricot coconut wax to add up to 444, and I needed more in the end. So I'm trying to show you. Oh no, it's 222, not 444, 222 grams. So it did not work in the end. I needed more, but that's just a little trial and error. So that's just how it goes when you're trying to figure out a new way of making candles. So I'm going to speed this up for you. And I have read where I put the cube on a little skewer, wooden skewer there, and if you heat it up, it makes it look like an ice cube. So you just barely heat it, and it makes it kind of crystallized and makes it look a little bit brighter like an actual ice cube. So I'm going to speed this up for you so that you do not have to be bored watching this. I just took a few seconds on each one to heat it up. So now I'm going to measure my apricot coconut wax to make the total of 222 grams. And it's not that much. And I knew as I was doing this, I was like, I don't think this is going to be enough. But this is what another tutorial told me. So I actually had to go double what I needed, actually. So I don't know. I'm getting the brown color to make a coffee color, as you see. So I'm first going to pour the white. So once this is melted, I'm going to pour just my apricot coconut wax, and then I'm going to add the brown. So I like to put a piece of paper there because that's my coffee latte, and that's from Hive and Honey. It does have vanilla, so that's why it's dark. It has coffee bean, vanilla, and it is a very strong coffee fragrance. So I'm just getting I'd use an 8%. So I'm using 8% of that 222, only for the apricot coconut. So actually it's not 222, it's only for that apricot coconut measure, not the gel wax measure. To be honest, I don't know if you melt the gel wax, if you actually put a fragrance in there. I have not seen that yet. So I'm looking at this right now and I'm thinking to myself, this is not going to be enough. So I'm going to first put the fragrance in there. I'm going to stir it, and you'll see I'm speeding this up. And I'm trying to get this down to 156 so it does not melt that gel wax. So I usually pour hot on a regular candle, but I do not want that gel wax cube to melt. So I'm getting it down to 156 degrees. That's what I read that you should do, so that when I pour it in, the cubes will stay intact. Actually, I think I got it down to, it might have been 136. So as I'm doing this, I'm realizing I'm putting the brown in, and I put that white piece of paper there so that I can just test the color. So you'll see me putting a little bit of the wax on the paper just to test that color out. Yep, and I think I'm getting that down to 136. You can look it up. I literally looked that up on AI. So I'm having to melt more wax. So it's just how it goes. So I'm adding a little bit more, and it turns out perfectly. So you're just going to have to figure that out, how much wax you need with those cubes in there. So I hope this helps if you are doing gel wax cubed iced latte. So now I'm just adding a little bit more fragrance to the little remaining apricot coconut wax that I'm adding to my vessel. And at the end, you'll see that I put a picture of what it looks like. I wish I could see my little temperature gauge there. Okay, so it fills up and you'll see my picture right here. I think it turned out really nice. Tell me in the comments what you think.